Once upon a time in the ancient city of Varanasi, there lived a young and curious boy named Ananda. Ananda had heard tales of a wise and enlightened teacher named Siddhartha, who had become known as the Buddha. One sunny morning, Ananda decided to seek out the Buddha and learn from him. He followed the stories and soon arrived at the tranquil grove where the Buddha often taught. Ananda approached the wise teacher and bowed in respect. The Buddha, with his serene countenance, welcomed Ananda and asked, "What brings you here, young one?" Ananda replied, "I seek wisdom, and I have heard that you are the wisest of all. Please, teach me the path to enlightenment." The Buddha smiled and said, "I will teach you, but first, we must begin with a lesson." The Buddha held up a single lotus flower, its petals glistening with morning dew. He presented it to Ananda and asked, "What do you see, my friend?" Ananda looked at the lotus, puzzled by the simplicity of the question. After a moment, he replied, "I see a beautiful lotus flower, perfectly blooming." The Buddha nodded and said, "You see the surface, Ananda, but there is more to it. Just as this lotus emerges from the mud, the path to enlightenment begins in the impurities of our minds. To attain true wisdom, you must first cleanse your heart and mind." Ananda contemplated these words and realized that wisdom was not just about knowledge but also about inner purity. He became a devoted disciple of the Buddha, embarking on a journey to cleanse his mind and heart. Years passed, and Ananda diligently followed the Buddha's teachings. He meditated, practiced compassion, and gradually found inner peace. One day, he achieved enlightenment, just as the Buddha had. Ananda returned to the grove, where he first met the Buddha, and presented him with a lotus flower. The Buddha recognized the profound transformation in Ananda's presence and said, "You have learned well, my dear disciple." The lotus had become a symbol of wisdom, purity, and enlightenment, reminding all who beheld it of the beautiful journey that led to inner awakening. From that day forward, the story of Ananda and the Lotus of Wisdom was shared among the Buddha's followers, inspiring them to seek not only knowledge but also inner purity on their path to enlightenment.